Welcome to the New Testament. Now, you may be wondering why we're starting today in John chapter 1 and verse 4. Well, you'd have to go back to day number 2 of our reading plan to see where we read the first 3 verses. And that's why we pick up in John chapter 1 and verse 4 today. And here in our reading today, John shares with us that in the beginning was the Word, that He is life and He is the light of men. And in verse 5, I love verse 5, it shows us that no matter how dark things are, that the light shines in the darkness and the darkness cannot overcome the light. But I want to read to you John chapter 1 in verse 6 through 13. Verse 6, there was a man sent from God whose name was John. He came as a witness to testify about the light so that all might believe through him. He was not the light, but he came to testify about the light. The true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. He was in the world, and yet the world was created through him. And yet the world did not recognize him. He came to his own, and his own people did not receive him. But to all who did receive him, he gave them the right to be children of God, to those who believe in his name, who were born not of natural descent, or the will of flesh, or the will of man, but of God. Now, John the Baptist was sent to testify about the light, and not everyone accepted this light. His own people rejected the light here in verse 11. But those who did receive, we see here in verse 12 that he gave them the right to be called children of God. Maybe you look at your life and you look at the regrets that you have, the failures that you've had. Maybe you've had addiction. Maybe you have what we call mental disorders such as depression, anxiety, and things like that. And you look at all those things and you define yourself by those things. But in Christ, we're not defined by those things. In Christ, we're defined as a child of God. And so I want to encourage you today to, when you think about who you are, think about that in Christ, you are a child of God.